Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, members of the faculty and staff, family and friends of the graduates, and members of the graduating class, welcome to the commencement ceremony for the Berkeley MBA for Executives, class of 2018. I'm Ann Harrison, Dean of the Haas School of Business. It's my duty and great pleasure to officiate at the ceremony today. This is a very special honor for me, as today is my first commencement as the new Dean of Berkeley Haas. But today's really a celebration of your personal achievements for having persevered through 19 months of a rigorous management and leadership curriculum and having mastered new skills and abilities, all while managing your demanding jobs and maintaining your active family and social lives. Many of you traveled long distances to take classes. This wasn't always easy. Finding ways to balance all of these commitments is nothing short of remarkable, and we applaud you. Today is also a celebration of your class as a whole. The way you've come together as a group has been nothing short of extraordinary. You make Haas proud. I have just a few minutes to sum up your experience here. Not easy to do, given how much you've crammed in and accomplished. For the past 19 months, you've not only come to campus every 3 weeks for lectures and team learning, you've also gone on the road to deepen your experience with 5 immersion programs. What were they? Leadership Communications in Napa with Mark Rittenberg, Applied Innovation San Francisco with Sarah Beckman, Entrepreneurship in Silicon Valley with Toby Stewart, Corporate Social Responsibility in Copenhagen with Robert Strand. I heard that was really great. And most recently, Public Policy in Washington, D.C. with Maura O'Neill. You've set a new standard of excellence for executive MBA programs with innovative hands-on learning. Through these collective experiences, it is our hope that you were transformed. As a Berkeley alumni, I personally know what an impact this community can have on one's life. I graduated at a different time, but what I remember is this. Berkeley gave me the confidence to handle anything, to tackle any problem, and the energy to think big, to think beyond myself. Take full advantage of the new array of opportunities provided for you by your education here and our incredible network of 40,000 alums all around the world. At Haas, we codify our values in our defining leadership principles. As MBA students here, I'm sure you know these principles by heart. As a job candidate last year, I knew those principles by heart. So what are they? Question the status quo. Berkeley leaders speak their minds, even when it challenges convention. They're always asking themselves, isn't there a better way to do this? And then they go out and they do it. Confidence without attitude. Berkeley leaders make decisions based on evidence and analysis. This gives us the confidence to act without arrogance. We lead through trust and collaboration. Student always. You wouldn't be here if this didn't describe you. Berkeley leaders know they always have something to learn, even at the peak of their careers. Last one, beyond yourself. The personal identity of Berkeley leaders is rooted in a larger world. We lead ethically and responsibly, and we take the longer view in our decisions and actions. This often means putting larger interests above our own. These defining leadership principles reflect who you are as students, and I hope as you move through your careers, they will be among your most precious assets. Every university has smart people, but at Berkeley, we see business as a tool to improve the lives of others. We're passionate about envisioning a better future, a future that's sustainable, that's equitable, and that's inclusive. You're launching this next stage of your lives at a time of great uncertainty. We have great economic disparities, the greatest in the industrial world, actually, and the greatest in any time in the last 100 years. Political polarization, environmental changes, and technological advances that our world is experiencing make a big impact on our lives. Now, more than ever, we need values-based leadership at every organization, every level. I look forward to seeing how you as Berkeley leaders take what you have learned here to make our world and our economy better for everyone. I look forward to hearing about your achievements in the years to come. My parting words of advice, but not the end of my conversation with you today, is this. Think every day about how you can go beyond yourself. In the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whose birthday we celebrated this past Monday, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Now, I would like to offer special recognition to a group of individuals who've worked really hard to make today possible for our soon-to-be graduates. Spouses, partners, parents, children, I hear them. Family and friends of the graduating students in the audience today, let's give them a huge round of applause. So, thank you for nurturing and supporting these men and women, coaching and standing by them through their insanely busy days as students. Now it is my pleasure to turn our attention to the student speaker for the class of 2018, Jessica LaBounty. So in the words of a fellow student, quote, Jessica is a keen observer who objectively understands our cohort and can add incredibly insightful and humorous musings in a speech. She exemplifies all 4 of the Berkeley values, and I've personally watched her grow as a result of the program. Jessica is well known by the entire class, is accepting of others, and goes out of her way to make people feel included, unquote. So this was one of Jessica's classmates. Jessica shows confidence without attitude as she takes the new skills she's acquired at Haas and applies them to her career and her personal life. Her time here has taught her to never allow yourself and your skills to become stale and to always seek out something new to learn. So it is my pleasure to introduce Jessica. Jessica.
Dean Harrison, distinguished faculty, friends and family, my cohort. It is my great honor to represent the class of 2018 today. I think it's only fitting to begin this afternoon talking about the clap. You heard me correctly. There are many things that make the EMBA class of 2018 special, but I think the clap captures a lot of our collective personality. Now, first term was quant heavy. And even for those that are math-oriented, and I am not one, it was a lot. We were learning to be students again, to manage our time inside and outside of block. And perhaps most straining, at least early on, was figuring each other out. And not just keeping 69 other names and careers and backstories straight, but figuring out where we fit into this new place. I think it's safe to describe us as overachievers, and all of a sudden we were thrust into a pond where maybe we weren't the biggest fish anymore. Compound that with the stress of being away from family and nothing in our day jobs slowing down, despite our frequent absences, and there was some legitimate pressure building. After 3 long months of accounting and statistics and microeconomics, finals were upon us. And as we sat waiting for our stats final to begin, there was a tangible tension in the air. The perfectionists among us wondered if they'd studied enough to be on top of the curve. The less perfectionist among us polished our inner monologues about how grades don't really matter at this level. And then, just as the exams were about to be distributed, inexplicably, somebody began to clap. Slowly at first, and then picking up momentum, and then the whole class joined in. And as we clapped, we sort of looked around at each other and laughed at this really unexpected burst of camaraderie, but the tension was broken. There was the sense that we were in it together, that we had this. Not just the test, but the whole thing, the whole program. We were going to get this done. And from that point on, the clap had a life of its own. We clapped on the first day of every new class. We clapped when we needed a boost of energy or before a major presentation. We clapped in Copenhagen. We clapped in DC. We scared the hell out of a lot of professors meeting us for the first time. Except for Professor Strand. Professor Strand really loved the clap. The clap was weird, and it was sweet, and at times felt strangely competitive, and even evolved into dance. The clap is uniquely ours. Now, quite a few of us have expressed that the end of our program is a little bit bittersweet, and it certainly is for me. Sure, no one will miss the sense of impending doom the Monday before block, when you realize just how much there is left to do before classes begin again. But there's also a bit of a void. There was something magical about stepping outside of your life once a month to argue about the theoretical and dream unlikely dreams. Watch each other make hard decisions or big leaps of faith in your careers, and get inspired to reach for more. And so, before I forget, in the spirit of keeping this thing going, I want you all to know that I am willing to set up a standing weekly call. It'll be just like team projects. Half of the agreed upon people won't show up, and we can spend a half an hour on small talk and a half an hour pretending we're not completely unprepared for a status update. In the last 19 months, I assume that there have been numerous ways that I have annoyed my colleagues at work. But one of the most obnoxious has to be just how often I start a sentence with, "So one of my friends from Haas." It's really easy to do. The conversation drifts to something in the news about air travel. I know these guys that fly for United. Somebody needs a real estate expert. We've got Manoj. What's it like to work for Amazon? We have an inside track. Pharmaceuticals, nonprofits, law, medicine, consulting. This network, this access to different industries, and the exposure we've had to one another has been nothing short of astonishing. And through it, I think we've discovered that there's no such thing as a perfect company or title or career approach, because we represent it all. And yet, to some degree, we all came here to figure something else out, to inspect the greenness of the grass on the other side of the fence. One of our professors actually described this program as a fairly productive midlife crisis, or in Kamalesh's case, a quarter-life crisis. I think what we've discovered in our pursuit of fulfillment and success has a lot to do with fit and honesty, vulnerability, and priorities. And for me, that sort of informed introspection, and it will be ongoing, has been as challenging and potentially life-changing as learning to calculate the cost of capital. But perhaps more transforming than that realization has been the support that we've given each other. Our cohort family has become a new and powerful kind of mirror. In this mirror, we have the opportunity to see ourselves not as our families see us, not as our work colleagues see us, and certainly not how we see ourselves. This Haas mirror has the remarkable ability to show us who we're capable of being. And this mirror, this faith we have in each other, is full of optimism and bravery. The last 19 months, we have been provided a diverse set of opportunities, and through them, we've seen each other shine in all sorts of ways. And being able to see our abilities and potential reflected in the encouragement of our classmates, is perhaps a greater boost of confidence than the degree itself. And that sense of pride in one another isn't going anywhere when we wrap up today. When I think about my cohort as a group, when I think about how best to describe this eclectic, accomplished, driven, dynamic collection of people, the first word I come back with is generosity. And it was evident from the very beginning. We have tripped over each other trying to be helpful, whether with a quick answer on Slack, a connection in our personal network, help with coursework. We're so eager to share with one another. We've arranged countless tours of our companies and helped get each other jobs. Ricky and Ed taught us to fly, literally airplanes. Olivier, not even technically a member of our cohort, taught us how to sail. And by the way, the close proximity of those two events left one of my work friends convinced that maybe this program was a little bit less academic and more like some prestigious adult sleepaway camp. The second thing that occurs to me when I think about our class is what a bunch of nerds. I mean, really lovable, endearing nerds, but nerds nonetheless. Marissa's a nerd for clean energy. Jim's a nerd for rap and karaoke and rap karaoke. I'm not sure if you can be a nerd about working out, but let's just put Cass and Ricky and Todd in that bucket for fun. I sat between Ravi and Serini first term, and those two could turn a lunch order into a calculus problem. And Trevor invented a new kind of rock in his undergraduate dorm room. I don't even know what that means, but he showed me pictures of it. I myself am a nerd for musical theater. Now, I'm not sure how familiar everyone is with the plot of the famed musical Wicked, so I'm going to take a moment to give you just a little bit of context. Wicked is the prequel to The Wizard of Oz, where the Good Witch and the unfairly named Wicked Witch are young girls at witch school. And there are actually a decent amount of parallels between witch school and the Haas MBA. The witches learn technical skills. They're taught by wizards, as were we. Their witch storm often ran out of hot water. And I think there might have even been some drama with their witch caterers along the way. But ultimately, they discover valuable truths about who they are and where they want to go next. And the witches are very different from one another. They actually don't see eye to eye for most of the show. They challenge each other and at times make each other crazy. But in the end, there's an incredible mutual respect and a sense that they came into each other's lives for a reason. So I'll leave you with two lines from a song as the witches are parting ways to pursue their witch dreams. A few lines I feel are very fitting to us. Because I knew you, I've been changed for the better. Because I knew you, I've been changed for good.
Jessica's a bit of a hard act to follow. However, each year we're called upon to select an individual of uncommon distinction to address the MBA graduating class as the commencement speaker. We look for a person who embodies a commitment to excellence and possesses a distinguished record of achievement, as well as someone who works to make the world a better place. This year, we are delighted that the Berkeley MBA for Executives program commencement speaker is such a leader and one of our own, Tootie Tatum. Sorry, Tootie, I want to say some things about you first. Okay. Dr. Tatum is a graduate of the Berkeley MBA for Executives Program, class of 2015. She's also the CEO of Black Hawk Genomics in Texas. She's a scientist with a PhD in biomedical sciences. She's made her mark in genomics. As an entrepreneur, she translates scientific breakthroughs into workable business ideas. She's been able to combine these two skill sets in powerful ways. While she was in the EMBA program, she decided to make the benefits of DNA science more accessible to people. She launched Black Hawk Genomics, a quickly growing consulting firm that helps healthcare providers develop, market, and offer genetic testing to patients. She credits her interactions with her classmates, alumni, and Haas faculty with making it possible for her to launch Black Hawk Genomics. She also, as a result of her work at Black Hawk, entered into a partnership that led to the creation of another enterprise, Pharmazam. Over the course of her career, she's also participated in the Human Genome Project and participated in radiation research around breast cancer. She held a tenured professorship at Texas Tech University, and she acted as director at Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratories Joint Genome Institute. She's an outstanding example of Beyond Yourself. She's an active investor in several Haas-founded companies and a founding member of the Advisory Council for our Center for Equity, Gender, and Leadership. Please join me in a warm welcome for Tudy.
Thank you all so much. That was probably the nicest introduction I've ever had, so thank you for that. To the graduates, to our distinguished faculty and parents, and all of you joining us here today for this tremendous achievement, good afternoon and congratulations to this newly minted class. Thank you. So I'm really happy to be with you all today. I just can't stop smiling about it. It feels so great to be back here. I would like to call out, in particular, Dr. Laura Tyson, who is the interim dean, and to the EMBA program office for inviting me for this great honor to be able to speak to you here today. And it's really great, honestly, to see all these familiar faces, even if I didn't necessarily make an A+ in your class. Maybe you won't remember that. And it just really brings back some great memories, so I really appreciate that. And it does feel like yesterday that I was sitting where you all are now. It's hard to believe that this is the 5th year of the independent EMBA program, so that's a really auspicious event in and of itself. So I hope this continues on and we get so many more fabulous graduates to go out into the world and do great things. I would like to take a moment to especially welcome our new dean, Dr. Ann Harrison, back to Haas. She began her prestigious career with a BS in economics from this very school. Unfortunately, from there, she had some kind of dark days. I don't know if you all maybe knew about this, but she was relegated and pushed out to teach at this really small college, the Wharton School of Business. And, you know, I'm sorry for that, but I welcome you back. I'm glad that you've got this institutional upgrade under your belt now, and hope for many years to come you'll enjoy your time here. So, in the 10 minutes I'm here today with you all, to speak with you all here today, I'm not going to spend much time telling you guys about what a great person I am and all these great things I've done, because you guys don't want to hear it. I've been told that for sure. But I do want to tell you guys that success is really not, you know, it's not a list of achievements, but it's something you do by just getting up every day and going out and just getting out of bed. And all of us here are successful by that very account, that we're sitting here and we're in this room today and we're all works in progress. So your success is for you to define and mine is mine to define, and I'm excited to see what all of you will do with your futures. By this point in our lives, our individual paths are like really big ships, and the course of that path, it's like a big ship in that it's really hard to steer it. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of physical force and planning to move it even just an inch off of that course. So each of you now here today that is an owner of one of these MBA degrees from one of the best business schools in the world has actually exerted that enormous force onto that ship and made that change. And that's a hard thing to do at this point in your life, because there are lots of things you can be doing with your time other than this. You know, so take a moment and let the gravity of that sink in. I think that's, at this point in time, I know you guys are, 19 months is done, you're tired, you're just ready to be done with it, but please fully appreciate that and revel in that moment. Today will be the last day that you have together as a class, and so just take a moment and look around. Each of you now is also a member of a really elite fellowship, and one of the special things about this program is that you're part of this brotherhood, and you're now all part of that, and I'm really grateful for it, and I hope you guys are as well. By definition, all of you here today is a consummate optimist. You might not feel like that at the moment, but you have to have a great belief in greater things to come, to have gone through this, to have spent this money and this time, and to know that there's something fantastic on the other side of it. And it really is truly the rare crazy person who upends their life, you neglect your family and your friends, your work commitments, endure lots of 20-hour days studying, and then cap it off by arguing with your study group about balance sheets and, finally drifting off to sleep, deliberating what truly is your favorite small open economy, perhaps. So, anyway, when I was asked to speak here to you guys today, my general instructions were really just to tell you guys what I wish I'd known at the point that I'm standing here now, going forward, but what immediately came to me was what I wish I'd known at the very beginning of the program, actually probably, on the day one, which is that there's a bar located behind Haas over in the faculty club, and it's open till 8:30 on Fridays, and nobody told me this, and it would have been really helpful come about term 3. So if someone imparted that knowledge to you, I'm very happy for you. If not, I'm sorry to break the bad news, but I think you can still get in. Anyway, I felt quite treated, but I digress. What I really want to do is tell you guys a story, and this is a story that happened back in 1977 in a little small Midwestern town at a small elementary school, public school. And there was this event, there was a decision by the teachers that they wanted to have the first and second grade classes get together, and they were going to do like this big mashup play of like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and Bambi and I don't know, something else to kind of just make this big fairy tale thing to get all the kids out there on stage and give them something to do. So they had an assembly, and all of the kids in the first and second grade classes were there with the teachers, and they were told that this is what was going to happen. And they said, well, you'll go back tomorrow, and your teacher will talk with you, and they'll give you your role. So all kids go back to class, and over the next week, they get assigned the roles, and everybody gets something. So even the little kids who maybe weren't quite reading on the level they needed to or anything else, we had daisies at the back of the room. Somebody was a palm tree. I think we had a rock. All kinds of little parts. So everybody got to be in it, except for one little girl, and she had been sick on the day following this assembly. So, in the chaos of the whole thing, because this was kind of just a quick play to have, all the kids participate, she got overlooked by her teacher, by some account. And so she goes home, she's crying, she's upset. And, the little girl's mother's just, of course, like, what the heck is going on here? So she calls the school. Come to find out, this little girl who had worked so hard, was so bright, never caused trouble, did her schoolwork, she thought that she had been completely forgotten, but the teachers had gotten together and decided that she was the brightest of all of them, and they wanted her to be the narrator of the play. And so when she found this out, she went from the greatest despair to this great joy. And it was the best thing to have happened to her at that, 6-year-old period. And so you can imagine that girl would be me. And so it was pretty fantastic, and I always look back at that as a point in my life at which I really appreciated being recognized for the accomplishments that I had made and how bright I was. But what's really important about that story is that it really doesn't have anything to do with that. And if you sit around and wait for 41 years for an event like that to happen again, because I see today a bit like that whenever I was asked to speak to you, that there was nothing that I actively did to get here. I was asked to do it, and it feels fantastic, but what it indicates is that there was another 41 years in between there in which I could have taken the opportunity to go out and take hold of things and take all of my abilities and skills and all the work that I did, much like the fantastic degree that you're all going to hold now, and do something great with it. So don't wait for people to come out and find you. You need to go out and find those opportunities in the world, and I hope that you all remember that. Anyway, I had this long story written out, and I just told it instead of reading it to you guys. But I guess the next thing I would tell you guys is, just remember that fate favors the bold. That's kind of a cliche thing to say, but it's true. And that's where the real work of you all crafting your own narrative really begins, and taking those risks. So be open. Be open to everybody around you. Be open to hearing whenever people maybe need you to reach out a hand to them, and be open to the criticism that they provide back to you, because in that criticism is whenever you're going to be given growth, and there's great value in that. And it's a true friend who tells you the things that maybe you don't want to hear that are hard. Be open to risk, and really abandon any of those preconceived notions of what's expected or what might happen, because you really need to be open to that new path. And the true blessing of really being alive is not necessarily having good things happen to you, but really having interesting things happen to you. And I truly believe that. So, your dreams are hopefully always going to be evolving and rising and falling and changing. And really, it's from these inevitable failures along the way that you get reinvention, and we get evolution, and we get new fantastic things that weren't in the world before. So I encourage all of you to welcome adversity, but mostly adversity with really open arms, because it's that pain and feeling in that moment, how that truly feels, that lets us know that we're alive and that we're out here in the world. There's no guarantee that you're going to reach any particular destination for which you set out, but you are going to have fun. You are going to be challenged. That's my greatest hope for you, is that you will be challenged, and that you will really, truly, fully come to know yourself. And that's maybe the greatest gift of this program, is that you're going to know more about yourselves walking out of here than you did the day that you came in. To help you guys along this journey, just know that this Haas Fellowship that you're now part of, it's for a lifetime. And that's maybe the greatest thing anybody ever told me, and that was told to me by a faculty member from whom I was seeking advice. That is truly a fact, that you can reach out and get help, and please do that. Please know that you're part of that fabric. And everybody who's here, who's come before you, we really are your safety net. Our community together, we're really the fabric that lets you know that it's the net, that you're not going to fall that far. You are going to fall, it is going to hurt, and you'll get up and you'll start again. We live in really challenging times, and I guess the last thing I would say is that there's really no shortage of discord and tribalism or cynicism or really even mediocrity out there. And you all are truly uniquely empowered to change that tide in the world, because if you don't, I don't know who will. So I think we have a great responsibility to do that as people that are graduates of this fantastic program at this wonderful institution. So I leave you each now with that charge to go out and do unimaginable things and change the world. And please join me again in congratulating the class of 2018. Go Bears!
Thank you, Tootie. We really appreciate you taking the time to inspire the class with your words. Really grateful. And me personally, I'm really excited to hear about the bar. Now I'd like to introduce my Berkeley Haas colleague, Jay Stowski, for the Senior Assistant Dean for Instruction, who will present our Chait Award for Excellence in Teaching. Jay?
Hello, how you doing? You having fun? It's about to get even better, because one of the joys of my job is that I get to present your award on your behalf to the person you've chosen for the Chait Award for Excellence in Teaching in the EMBA for Executives program. The Chait Award is named after our late Dean Emeritus, Bud Chait, who, as my grandmother would have put it, was a true gentleman and scholar. He cared very deeply about teaching, and the award that we name after him is not just an award, it's not just a popularity award. It's an award for the person who you have said not only had the great command of her subject matter, but was able to arouse curiosity in beginning students and also to stimulate more advanced students to do their best creative work. It's about the quality of connection that she made with her students both inside and outside the classroom. Now, there were many incredibly worthy nominees for the Chait Award this year. I have a secret to tell you. I oversee all 6 degree programs at Haas. Your program has the most consistently excellent faculty, and in fact, the faculty ask to teach you. They seek out opportunities to teach you. So to win the Chait Award in this program is to be acknowledged as a standout among standouts. So let me say a few words now about the person you've chosen for this year's award, Veselina Dinova. Now, Veselina is already a distinguished teaching fellow at the Haas School. She has partnered with EMBA in multiple capacities. She has been a GSI, for which she won the Outstanding GSI Award twice, in 2015, Tudi's class, yes, and 2017. She's been co-faculty in the core. She has been a faculty for 2 different electives that she's developed for EMBA, and she's been a trusted advisor and thought partner to our program office. Your class especially has spent a lot of time with Veselina. She was first introduced to you giving a crash course in Excel before formal classes began. She concluded that class with a link to in-depth videos that she had created to help with more advanced topics whenever students found themselves perplexed in future classes. In financial information analysis, Veselina made the fine print of financial statements come alive with her infectious enthusiasm for this sometimes dry topic. She unlocked your powers in decoding financials and SEC filings. That'll make you better employees, board members, and investors. Do you get a share? Did you negotiate that? In an elective course that she designed, running a multinational corporation capstone simulation, she gave you the opportunity to simulate running a multinational corporation. That seems to me to be the perfect capstone experience in which to apply all your learnings in this program. Most importantly, Veselina exemplifies our defining leadership principle of beyond yourself. In all that she does and in all that she is, for her teaching excellence, her massive contributions both in and outside the classroom, her personal mentorship, and her deep commitment to this program and to her students. Please join me in congratulating Veselina Dinova, the 2018 Chait Award recipient.
Thank you so much. I am deeply honored to receive this award, and again, thank you so much. And even though this is an individual award, to me, it also reflects the contribution of quite a few others, and I would like to take a moment to express my gratitude for their help. So first of all, to the management of this school, thank you for taking a chance on me when all I had to offer was just passion and a promise that I would try my best. To the EMBA program office, thank you for fighting for me, all former and current members of the program office, and thank you for all of the support so I can focus on what matters for the students. To the faculty, thank you for showing me how high I need to reach for to get this award. And last but not least, to the students of EMBA 18 and all the rest of the EMBA students that I've had the privilege to work with. The reason I did so well is because I deeply care about you, because I feel that you are worth it. I am impressed by your dedication to the learning process, to your careers, and to your families all at the same time. I find you smart and hardworking and kind and just all around really inspiring. And I know that if you are successful, then this world is just going to be a better place for all of us. And that's why my performance this year and previous years is really all about my desire to be part of your success story. And I thank you very much for letting me be part of your journey. Congratulations.
Now, you've also chosen someone to join Veselina in holding the award for the outstanding graduate student instructor who serves as an apprentice under the supervision of a faculty member. This year's graduate student instructor award goes to Ayan Siddiq. Now, clap louder because he's in Los Angeles. He is present there today due to his appointment to the faculty at the Anderson School of Management at UCLA. Good for him. Ayan has played a huge role in the success of this class as GSI for Lucas Davis's Data and Decisions course, which is one of the first courses you all take. We heard from the student committee about his fantastic sessions outside of the block that became essential to mastering the topics of the course, which of course are foundational to a lot of the other courses you've taken. He was patient, kind, gracious, which is exactly what students need certainly at the beginning of the program, at any point in the program. And he went above and beyond to facilitate learning as the cohort came up to speed in term 1. So congratulations, Ayan. I will accept this award on your behalf, and we'll get it to you at UCLA. And finally, for me, let us now turn to our Class of 2018 Academic Achievement Award. To be the valedictorian amongst such a selective group of the best and brightest MBA students, it should go without saying this is quite an accomplishment. In order to do well as a student in this program, one needs the foundations of intelligence and the ability to compartmentalize work, family, friends, life, classmates, faculty, and still take advantage of everything Haas and UC Berkeley have to offer. Indeed, our valedictorian award goes beyond celebrating the student with the highest GPA. It also celebrates the student who excels in an intense and accelerated program. Not only did the valedictorian this year excel in your program, he encouraged others to excel as well. As one of his classmates put it, he is my academic role model. His presence in our class elevated the academic and intellectual firepower of our cohort. He led by example and motivated me personally to perform at a higher level. And so it's my pleasure to present this year's valedictorian for the EMBA program with an impressive GPA of 3.951, Jim Griffin.
We did it. Oh, wait, I can say that, right, Jamie? I can say, we did it! I just want to take a moment to recognize and congratulate everyone on this momentous occasion. The program has put us through the ringer, and here we are on the other side, better than we started thanks to all the hard work and dedication. I'm impressed with each of you and your ability to balance school and families, to balance school and your jobs and careers, to balance school and the new additions, challenges, and just trying to answer the ultimate question of what do we want to be when we grow up? My sincerest congratulations to each of you. Before I go any further, I think it's best that I take a minute to thank some people. I think everyone here understands that what we've done was not accomplished alone, but with the love and support of family and friends. I'd first like to thank Leah. You've had so much patience with me over the last 19 months. How many of our weekends together did I have homework or a project or something? Probably all of them. My family's here today. I'd like to thank them for the support and encouragement that they've given me for my entire life. I'm so lucky to have you in my life. I love you, Mom. I'd also like to recognize my team back at the office. They worked harder so that I could come here every 3 weeks to study and learn. To the professors, you always seem to go above and beyond for us. Thank you for truly caring about our academic experience. To the program office, thank you for being the engine behind such an amazing experience. And I want to thank my cohort members. You made this program a unique experience. Never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined going through something like this with all of you. I couldn't have done this program alone. All of you helped me in some fashion along the way. Thank you. I also want to take a minute to do a few quick shout-outs. To Study Group 11, Amar, Avi, Tahoe, and Shalaka, thank you. To members of my team in executive leadership, Riley, John, and Yusuf, you've helped me be a great leader. Amy, you were always challenging me to be better. Ricky, you always had my back. In return, I introduced you to beer. You're welcome. And Laura, this program would not have been the same without you. I can't express how much I value your friendship. So some of you might think that I'd come up here and talk about the defining principles, and you'd be right. And some of you might think that I would talk about student always, and you would be wrong. I do want to talk about a defining principle, but not that one. I'd like to talk about beyond yourself. I see this embodied by our cohort through things like the Berkeley Half Marathon, providing meals when new babies arrive. I'm sure Nate, they're probably on the way. Showing support when family members are in the hospital, making that crucial career connection, or generally just being there in whatever way they can. You see, it's already part of our nature to think this way. It's like they screen for that or something in the admissions process. Over the course of this program, we've heard the call to do more, whether it was about corporate social responsibility and sustainability, government service and the call to the public sector, or just finding something you're passionate about and sharing it with others. We are the newest Berkeley leaders, and beyond ourselves is now built into our DNA. That door can no longer be closed. Berkeley has equipped us with the tools we need. Berkeley has inspired us to think more broadly. Berkeley has opened our perspectives on the difficult problems the world faces, and Berkeley has challenged us to go beyond ourselves and be the change. I truly look forward to seeing the impact that this cohort makes because I know it's going to be awesome. Whether it's giving back to the school, pushing for more CSR and sustainability in your jobs, starting social hybrids and nonprofits to tackle the toughest challenges, or changing the system through political action. I know we're capable of it. We are Berkeley leaders, and that's just what we do. As I wrap up my comments, I have a few parting thoughts. At a time like this, I find inspiration from the modern-day lyrical poet Sean Carter. I've got 99 problems, but school ain't one. The program is over, but the journey is just beginning. We're leaving here with lifelong friends, business partners, knowledge, understanding, awareness, and an imperative to go beyond ourselves, to live up to the calling of the Berkeley leader. I think Dean Harrison said it best earlier, and I'd like to repeat it. Dr. King's quote, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? How will you change the world? Onward."
It is now my pleasure to introduce my Berkeley Haas colleague, Mary James, Jamie Breen, the Assistant Dean for MBA Programs for Working Professionals, to present our Defining Leadership Principle Awards.
As you all have heard throughout this ceremony, and for our graduates, literally from the day they first applied, the defining leadership principles are incredibly important. They define the kind of leaders that we want to attract and develop and send out into the world. And so all of our students come in exemplifying the defining leadership principles. But one of my great pleasures as the assistant head witch, for Wizard, thank you, that's better. For the program is to see how they continue to build and deepen those leadership skills and capabilities and principles. And so while all of our graduates here today exemplify them, every year the students themselves choose from their classmates some who really have codified them and walk the talk for them during their 19 months in the program. So it is my pleasure to be able to introduce those awards today, to present those awards. Our first one is Question the Status Quo. So Berkeley leaders champion bold ideas, and we take intelligent risks and accept our failures and use them to move on. Students nominated this year's Question the Status Quo winner because, to quote, "He always thought thoroughly and swiftly about both sides to every argument and was never afraid to speak his mind. At times that got him into trouble because he said things others were unwilling to say out loud, but he always owned up to his mistakes. One of the most intelligent individuals I know." In the words of Veselina Danova, "A classroom with Michael is always lively. He does not take the basic concepts as given. He questions the underlying model. He questions the assumptions. He questions the applications. He is not afraid to agree, and he is not afraid to disagree. He then takes the feedback and turns it around into another challenge. Students like Michael make our classes worth taking. More importantly, it is people like Michael who make our world better. May all of us have Michaels in our lives." I'm pleased to announce that the recipient of the EMBA 18 Question the Status Quo Award, Michael Gimmerin. Our second defining leadership principle is confidence without attitude. Now more than ever, we value confidence without attitude. We make decisions based on evidence and analysis, giving us the confidence to act and make decisions, but without arrogance, which allows us to lead through trust and collaboration. The EMBA 18 cohort nominated this year's recipient of the Confidence Without Attitude Award for not being afraid to call how it is. There is never an attitude or sense of arrogance in how she conducts herself. She inspires trust and caring. Lucas Davis says of this student, "Kate was a joy to have in class. She exemplifies confidence without attitude and brought great enthusiasm, insight, and willingness to share to our classroom. Please join me in congratulating Kate Monsales as the EMBA 18. But wait, there's more. We actually had 2 students who came at the top of the nominations for Confidence Without Attitude. So the second, and I quote, "The definition of confidence without attitude. He is the perfect mix of smarts, success, strength, patience, drive, friendliness, fun, dependability, and integrity. He has a very special way of handling tough situations with lightheartedness, patience, and usually a bright smile on his face, while effectively getting the job done and always staying true to his morals." Professor Jenny Chapman says of this student, "Ron has a chronic smile on his face and is open and welcoming to all. In a rare portfolio, Ron's friendly demeanor combines with a big-time intellect. He is thoughtful, smart, and enormously motivated, a quintessential confidence without attitude guy. He has high expectations for himself and is looking to make the group and each of his colleagues as effective as possible. There is no better combination of attributes for a leader, friend, and group member. Ron is the whole package." Please join me in congratulating Ron Sasaki as a recipient of the Confidence Without Attitude. Our third defining leadership principle is students always. And clearly that applies to every single person in this program, because you don't do this, as you've heard today, at this point in your life and your career if you don't have a passion and a dedication to learning for yourself and others. This year's recipient for the Student Always Award is acknowledged for his love of learning and for taking way more credits than he needs to graduate. He's quick to help others, but doesn't have to dominate the conversation. Professor Jenny Chapman wrote, "Jim has a delightful curiosity that causes him to dig deep, to find root causes and comprehensive answers. He combines analytical depth with the reasonableness of a pragmatist, which is why he is so unbelievably effective as a decision maker and a leader, and why he is a pure delight in the classroom. I can think of no more worthy a winner of the Students Always Award than Jim." Congratulations, Jim Griffin, winner of the Students Always Defining Leadership. And our fourth defining leadership principle, beyond yourself, which really speaks to the concept of stewardship and taking a long view, and not just long, but also horizontally, thinking deep and wide around the impact of our decisions and how we act and lead in this world. This year's winner, and I quote, "is always putting others first and thinking not just about the short-term impact, but the long-term implications of the situations and actions. Truly thinks about the other person in the situation with empathy and care." Veselina has said of this student, "Anytime I call Laura, I feel I am the most important person in her life. But I know that I am not. It is simply the way she makes everybody feel with her seemingly endless willingness to help. Laura is reliable, resourceful, and driven while insanely warm and loving, and oh so selfless. She is a student and a professional. She is a wife and a mom and a daughter. She is a friend and a mentor. She attends parties and she attends meetings. She delivers food and she delivers speeches. She is the class president, but I have seen her on stage with pink hair." The Beyond Yourself Award for the EMBA Class of 18 goes to Laura Paxton Hassner. And finally, we have a special tradition within the MBA for Executives program. There's an award that we call the fifth principle. And it is that individual or individuals who, while exemplifying all four of the defining leadership principles, also add an element to it in that they always operate graciously and with grace, regardless of the situation and regardless of the individual with whom they're working or interacting. For this particular award, the program office team takes all the feedback from the students who have nominated their fellow students for awards, and we weigh in as well. And we select two individuals that, to us, have exemplified this operating with grace throughout the 19 months of an incredibly rigorous and difficult program. So the first fifth principle recipient was nominated for always expressing her gratitude and appreciation for interactions large and small. Wendy has demonstrated thoughtfulness and initiative. She was instrumental in various gender equity programming and has demonstrated a commitment to the DLPs in significant ways and practicing them graciously. Laura Cray adds the following: I had the pleasure of having Wendy as a student in 2 different classes. Across these 2 very different contexts, Wendy showed consistency in her invaluable contributions to a positive classroom environment. She volunteered to organize a company visit to her employer, Uber, creating a safe space for her work and MBA colleagues to come together and have a candid discussion in creating a culture of equity, diversity, inclusion in a fast-changing and highly competitive business environment. In negotiations, Wendy played a critical role in demonstrating the merits of a win-win approach to handling conflict that had a strong impact on her peers. I am not alone in my deep admiration for Wendy's embodiment of all that we aspire to be as leaders here at Berkeley Haas and in our professional and personal journeys beyond this campus. Wendy Chong, please come up and join as our fifth principal winner. Oh, Jim Block. The second winner of the fifth principal award was selected for consistently going above and beyond when assisting the program office with everything from finding a classroom space for Silicon Valley Immersion Week to bringing thoughtful gifts from his time abroad. He is thoughtful and a huge asset to the MBA for Executives family. Brian exemplifies the fifth principle. He consistently thinks beyond himself in meaningful ways, politely questions the status quo, has confidence without attitude, and perpetually sought educational opportunities to further himself as a student always. His demeanor has been quintessentially gracious and grateful. And Professor Andrew Isaacs echoes the sentiment. I found Brian to be a natural leader. He is warm, interested in others, respectful of others and their views, but also clear in articulating his ideas, even when they differed from others' opinions. I also found in Brian a natural interest in all that is happening in the world beyond just business. It was a joy to have Brian in my class this semester. The other winner of our fifth principal award is Brian Tahoe. Will the degree candidates please rise? Ricky Cornejo. Kate Monsalese. Hoga On. Christopher La Roca. Jonathan Wong, with honors. Ron Sasaki. Susan Hosking. Hussein Ahmed. Velu Raju. Salil Vijakar. Anuj Drone. Mohit Marwaha. Kamalesh Jayaram. Wendy Chong. Eduardo Buenviaje. Sarah Reichenbacher. Lan Fong. Kevin Wynn. Brian Tahoe. Amarpreet Singh. Lauren Burke. Allison Hine with honors. Allie Foote. Sahar Sadijian Kleinman. Mojgan Payambar. Michael Gimmeran. Waldemar. Marissa Mitchell. Avi Teherapur. Sergio Rojas Coelho. Gary Mullaney. Sai Kotla. Neil Shaw. Kunjal Parekh. Yusuf Izzi. Congratulations again on everything. Nathan Pollock. Kaz Farsad. Kunal Mehta. Marcus Kraus. Victoria J. Chin. Ryan Plowey. Adam Nunabel. I love it. Laura Wright Teclamariam. David Prince. Eric Alborg. Ajit Kota. Manoj Thomas. Neil Johnson. Ravi Shankar Agarwal. Krishnan Srinivasan. Varun Baidi. Audrey Ng. Rohini Pandrath. Catherine Malika. Lyudmila Yazikova. Shalaka Karshe. Trevor Buell. Robert Welsh. Ali Irturk. David Riley. Amy Lammers with honors. I might read this. Cameron Hufford with honors. Jessica Del Carmen Wozniak. Jean Brinker. Brian Wilkins. Stephen Mason. Laura Paxton Hassner. Jessica LaBounty. Jim Griffin.
all the candidates for the degree Master of Business Administration please rise? By virtue of the authority vested in me by the President of the University of California and the Chancellor of UC Berkeley, I grant you the degree, Master of Business Administration. Please be seated. Please be seated. It's now official. All of the graduates here have commenced a new lifelong relationship as alumni with Berkeley Haas. We welcome you to this new distinction. Here are a few things to think about as alumni. At Berkeley Haas, great leaders give back. We do this not only because we share this institutional affiliation, but because we share values. That's the real glue. Great leaders give back by engaging with the Berkeley Haas Alumni Network. Great leaders give back by steering future talent who share values to our school and by hiring Haas, because we know the fit is right. Great leaders give back by investing their financial resources in making the program so valuable. We all benefit from these investments. I'd like to recognize two students who have exemplified our Beyond Yourself principle. Chris LaRocca and Trevor Buell, who chaired this year's EMBA student campaign. Together, your class has raised almost $60,000 to support faculty and student excellence at Haas. Your gift allows us to make your Berkeley MBA for Executives degree even stronger. Thank you. As I bring this ceremony to a close, please remain seated as the faculty and the new graduates process out the hall. We invite you all to enjoy the beautiful Hertz Hall venue for photo opportunities with your new graduates. We are full of pride at your achievement today, and we eagerly anticipate your great accomplishments in the future. You have my best wishes for your success. Congratulations, and thank you all for being here today. This commencement ceremony is concluded.